Hello there, buddy. Slap. I'm gonna switch tracks in a second here. Maybe Circle of the Americas next Grand Prix. What's that timer keep going up? VR and everything's working right. I did change the resolution a little bit. Turned it down a little bit to get the frame rate up more. It was acceptable before, but okay, is the VR headset going to track in dark light? Maybe not. I may have turned on the lights in there. Good to be back in the car. Actually tracked pretty good considering the lights are off in there. I do have this one ring light beside me, but it's on a like a purple. It's not real bright. I just wanted kind of a different mood tonight. Chill vibes, you know? All right. Let's go and restart the server for Circuit of the Americas. Appreciate you guys on YouTube hitting thumbs up. Servers coming on. Alright, server's restarting. It's going to be Circuit of the Americas. Alright, it should be coming up now. Coda. Okay, I think we got YouTube fixed. So it's the right time on everything. Hey David, what's going on, bro? Starting to stream too? Okay, cool. Alright, let me hop out of here. Ooh. I'm dropping a lot of frames, huh? Why is it dropping so many frames? Statistics says I'm dropping a lot. Uh-oh, network connection's not too good tonight. Well, they had it fixed. I guess something broke again. Did a speed test before the stream and I noticed like the download was instead of 500 was like 470 and the upload instead of 21 or 22 is like 17, which is enough, but because it wasn't hitting my cap that I'm paying for, that tells me something's going on because normally it's always on the cap. Yeah, so it's acting a bit goofy. It might buffer tonight. Let me go ahead and turn the bandwidth down on the stream. And that'll be a crutch until we get it fixed. It's kind of looking like it's not going to hit the target bandwidth some of the times. Let's hit it to like, looks like it's hitting 5,000 a lot. 4,800 and 5,000, so seems to be where it's going at its lowest. So we'll set the bandwidth to that, and that should stop it from dropping so many frames. And a quit buffering. Yeah, I just turned down the bit rate in OBS, so it won't look as sharp, but it should stop skipping frames from this point going forward. Yeah, it's still skipping them. Yeah, maybe it's my ISP is really having trouble. I can turn it down some more. So I'll go down to like 3,000, so I'll do like 45 or 3,800. Try 3,800. That's really freaking low. Like it's like 8 megabit right now, and that goes 6, 7, 6. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be 7.5 and just stay there. Now it's 5.5, so it's just fluctuating real bad right now. Peak internet hours in the neighborhood, I imagine. It's probably not helping matters, but anyway, it is what it is. But that should help a lot with the buffering and stuff like that. Okay, got a little basic tune-up on here. Try to see how it goes. Should work. GPU usage, 91%. That's up there. This pit era's got a lot of stuff to render. Minutes until the race starts, so Yeah, good warm up. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Corsa. caution flag. I think David missed his breaking point. Something. I do that sometimes. I look up and I'm like, I'm gonna brake at the 150, and I look up and I'm already at the 100. I'm like, oh shit. And then you come into a corner and there's two guys turning and there's no space between them and nowhere to go. Just like, fuck. I feel like such a heel when that happens. But it happens. No big deal. Minutes left, first place. The best parking spot. I ate back to the corner, but this is new. The yellow Porsche. Colton McKemble. lap. We're the race leaders, so race ends on across the finish line if we stay in first. The guy in front of me's in 8th place. He's lapped. First podium of the night. It's a win, so we'll take it. Good race, David. I think David and I lapped a bunch of them. Where's David at? That's him in the BMW back there. They were doing a ceremony burnout for the podium position. He got second. Nice race. It's on the next track here. Don't even worry about it, man. I already forgot about it until you said something. I appreciate the stop, but nonetheless, that's what I usually do. When I have a mistake and I accidentally spin somebody out, no, I'm always like, oh shit, you know, especially being the server admin and streaming. I really need to set the example, so I always feel bad. And I usually will make a point to stop, like you did, you know, just to kind of show, like, not even say anything. Yeah, I know I fucked up, you know? So I appreciate it. But like I was saying on the stream, and if you happen to watch it back later, you'll see that stuff, it doesn't faze me like it used to. I used to get upset and stuff, but especially if I know it's somebody like you, I know for sure that you're not doing that on purpose, you know. It's usually going to be like a mechanical issue or a late break issue or lag or just, you know, just a mistake. So we don't sweat that stuff. The only people I care about doing that stuff is the ones that, like, you know, knock you off the track and just take the position and take off, or never say sorry, or you're just like, okay, well, you know, common courtesy to at least say sorry after the race. You don't have to stop and do all that, but, you know, I'd say it's pretty nice to, after the race, at least say, hey, sorry about the bump. That's it. And if it's a race for, you know, first or second or third or something important, you know, then I give the position back, of course. Lots of ways to go about it. None are wrong as long as somebody makes an attempt to do right. That's all. Okay, we should be on Donington Park. If it worked. Yeah, that's kind of the break point. Yeah, that's what I said on the stream. I was like, mechanical failure, or he probably just missed the break point. It's usually what happens to me, especially in VR when I'm messing around with different resolutions. Some of the stuff in a real far distance, if I have it at a low resolution, I can't even read them until they're like 50 feet in front of me. And sometimes it's like, is that 200? I need to brake on the 150, and you're like, oh shit, that was the 100. God damn. Slam on the brakes, go way too deep in the corner, and hope like hell nobody's making a turn. And usually there's a couple people trying to make a turn, and then you're trying to like dart between them, and it's just, yeah, it's bad when that happens. But so that's why I don't sweat it. If somebody does it to me on accident, it's gonna happen. You guys that hadn't seen already, David's streaming too, so make sure you follow him. He's also in my Discord, and thumbs up on the video. He's got a link for you. All right, so Donington Park is up next. Up in there. I'm gonna have to get some more drink. Get a fan on this so I can get warm. All right, back. Someone guys, Carlton maybe. This will be a fun one to go to, isn't it? I really like this track. It just, you can just floor it from this point on and just really haul. It's just cool. And it's not in Forza, so I like that too. No, it's not that. Yeah, how great would this feature? Get on this track. Okay. Environment might help tracking here. Can't see that. Alright, race time. Good luck, fellas. Full server this time, that's good. People like this track, I guess. Double yellows will crash up or something. I got a little excited. They got close to me. And they just kept flooring it. I got stuck in that traffic too long over. That's alright, he's fast. A minute left. Seconds. Just run into me. That'll be the race right there. That fully backs maybe a second, about 3.5 seconds behind. A 5-second penalty. Woo! Yeah, we were ended several times, but we survived. The guy kept spinning himself out. He could catch me with that Maserati, but he couldn't make a clean pass. Hey yo, what up? The Laura. Who's in the Laura? Oh, that's Vac. What's up, Vac? That's a good race. There's the fellas. What up, dudes? some cheddar, man. Oh, road glare. Yeah. Did you get run over? Nah, bummer. I'll get us on the next track. Yeah, it went pretty good for me overall. I no real complaints. I got bumped a few times, but luckily it didn't really mess me up. It ended up messing him up more than me, so. Alright, Fuji's coming up. Gonna cross right in front of you.
Of taking him on the right. His right front steering wheel, both of them are broken.
Oh Lord.
Bang, bang again. He goes into the wall. I'm there on the right.
Yeah. Yeah. Typical shit show. You give people 3 lanes of room and they'll still manage to hit you in the corner. And like, wow. Like, how did you do that? The best ones are on the straightaways. Like, how did you run over me in the straight? I'm going straight. There's a, you know, I'm on the edge of the road and I'm going straight. How do you clip me? Amazing. Sometimes what happens in these races, but oh well. Pixels on the screen, no big deal. Alright, Fuji's up next. That's Japan. Alright. Two. Let's just slam it. It'll rotate a little better, seems like, when they're slammed. Straight into the airport and it's the wall. Yeah, he just didn't know the track, probably. I've been there. You get the surprise corners and you're like, oh shit. I got to turn here and it's a left, not a right. You know, stuff like that. And sometimes it's like controllers get disconnected and stuff. Those are pretty funny. Cause you see people on a stream and they're like, oh shit. You know, 150 into a wall and you're immersed. It's a little alarming. Alright, we got the base tune-up on here. We'll see how it runs on this track. Carlton last track, he was fast. He's in the blue Maserati. But it looked like he was having braking problems or something. Every time he got close to me, he'd bump me. So, some people can put down a real fast lap, but then they get in traffic and have some trouble, you know. That kind of experience takes a lot more time than just hot lapping. Look, there's a hair hanging in there. Yep. The worst scratches are in VR when you're trying to race and the dang Got one behind the mask or on your nose usually. Qualified 21st. And that one, for some reason, my tires are a little bit hot. 93. Surprising it's that hot. I don't know what time I got on them. Yeah, that puts us in 8. like a qualification race. Sometimes you have a good race in qualification. Try not to, touch anybody because they are qualifying. Happens. Cool. Saw a lot of spinning headlights in the qualification, people going around. Tricky one. Added a bunch of new music, so we'll see. Some of this is pretty good. And I went through and listened to it, and it was good, so I'm sure it will be, but... Oh, shit. The headset just got stuck crooked, I think. Let's see if it'll... Sometimes it gets backwards, or it does something weird like this, and you can't get it back. Yeah, I don't think it's recoverable. I'm gonna have to rejoin. Once you can get enough light on it, maybe. Ah, bummer. We missed the race. That sucks. Just get out as quickly as possible and get right back in. Alright, starting back up. Uh-oh. Lenses aren't on. What the heck? Yep, there they go. Yeah, at least the tune's already ready, so we can just load the tune and rock out. Yeah, David's in second. That's good. Like when it's one of our regulars that's doing well. Oh shit. You need him? Well, we moved from 18 to 15, I think. Seconds left. Catch up with traffic. Full close from 18. Let's race. Look! Huh. Bonk. Good race, fellas. It's a bummer I lost tracking right before the race started. That's crazy. It does not like being in the middle of this front monitor. Maybe I should turn the brightness up on this front monitor. That might help. I can't. I'm just going to display stuff. Let's see. Menu. Look at these side monitors. Right. That will put some more light on me and this VR headset, and probably help keep the tracking. We'll do the left monitor as well. Get the triple set up here. Brightness. I had it down to like 25% brightness because I was recording the GoPro a while back. Got a lot brighter on me, isn't it? Good race, bro. Should follow. Hey, what's up, Thor? I saw your message there. Necro, what's good, bro? I think I can turn my face cam gain down. Got enough brightness now. Maybe I'll go a step more, maybe right there. That's pretty natural light, pretty realistic to how it actually is. And that'll get the frame rate of the face cam up a little bit too. I'm gonna put us on the next track in just a second here, guys. Well, pretty good, Thor. I've been kind of just laying around too much. You know, I guess. Oh, you're Peter? Oh, okay, yeah, good race, Peter. We'll get the forward fig here. Let's see what the next track is going to be. It looks like a Mola Grand Prix. Okay, I told it to restart. No, these are the same glasses. Well, I usually buy a 2-pack, and one of them in the pack is usually like a brown translucent, one of them's more like a black. So these are the brown ones. I think I broke the black ones. So. Reggie, Reggie. Thanks for the call, bro. Appreciate it. How you doing tonight? I don't think that server restart worked. Let me try again. Because it hadn't kicked me out of the old version yet. Sometimes my eyes look bigger. And my eyes look beady when I don't have these glasses on. Because these are like a 2.5 or something zoom on them. So they help me with vision. Oh, we won the wrong account. Okay, well I got a 2-for-1 out of that deal, didn't I? Shit. I don't think the server's working. Let me try again. It says it was restarted, but let's see if it really has. Doesn't seem like it because it hasn't kicked me here yet. Yeah, the admin panel's like not pulling up the server list. Says a Mola, says 14 on there, and I know that's not right. Let me hit restart again. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries. Got that 4-inch pumper. All right, let's check. Gotta measure your E penis sometimes, you know. 4, bro. Oh, I appreciate the Prime. That's actually good timing. I usually take the Prime stuff, the subscription donations and stuff, and I'll put that on towards the server, keeping the server going, which could use the help right now. Is it going to restart? It says it did, but it sure doesn't look like it did. Maybe. Let's check. I think it might have this time. Now the amount of players has gone to 0, and it's on the right track, so there we go. I think we're live now. Yeah, I don't need I haven't looked at RAM prices. Thank goodness I built this computer. I was like, you know, it's going to be a while before something faster comes out. I'm going to get the fastest thing I can possibly buy for this new game, you know, this racing game. So that's what I did. Oh, I agree. Yeah, there's a bunch of hype behind motherboards, and I mean, you know, if you're chasing the last 10 frames per second over the next guy, then yeah, what I got may be what you need, but honestly, you can spend so much chasing it last 10 frames. But I went overkill because it's gonna be a while before something amazing comes out, I'm sure. I'll set the bandwidth at 4 megabit. Let me put it up to 4500 because it looks like our drops frames is down to 9% and probably dropping because it's at 3800. Let's put it 4500. That'll help the video look a little better. I think we're at peak internet earlier and it was choking. It's cable internet, so it's shared no matter what you think. Let's load our bass tune. Oh, something's wrong with my settings. Oh, man. I just realized this thing's at the wrong GPU settings for some reason. I looked up and I was looking at the banner at the top left. There's a frame rate counter, and that comes from Steam. And if that font ever goes super tiny, that means the headset's running at the wrong resolution. It's running a really high resolution for some reason. I need to check and see if something changed here. I'm supposed to go by these application settings here. Yeah, image quality changed to automatic. I don't know why it does that, but that's the resolution of the panel. So I usually put that like at 80 because that's sufficient. It's kind of like running at 1440p instead of 4K. It still looks good. And then all this was on, I don't know why all this just changed, but it was all wrong. That's why my frame rate in the VR and the resolution was different. These settings usually get me good frame rate. Let's see. Okay, everything else looks right. Let's get back into the game. That's strange. Hopefully it works this time. Image quality, AD, performance. Quad V performance, entering and performance, GPU upscaling. Okay, that rolled back for some reason. Let's put that back. View Nero. Okay, everything else looks correct. Let's start the game. It should look right. Yeah, the Steam font at the top left looks correct. Or close, anyway. It was like super tiny. I knew something was wrong. I looked at the GPU usage, it was 100%. I knew something was wrong. It was trying to render too much. Now we're at 90 frames per second and GPU's at 70%. That's on this scene, this view right here where the car is in the garage. If I can get that around 70 or less, usually I'll have a steady 90 frames in the headset in the game. And it stick there. Right, let's go to Mola. Hopefully the race hasn't already started, but it may have. Frames 9% on the stream. Let's bump the output to 5 megabit instead of 3.8 we had earlier. See if that 9.2 goes up or down. If it keeps going down, we'll up the bandwidth and the stream will just get better looking as the night goes on. Qualifying for 3 minutes. We got time to load a tune and do a lap. Party time. Yeah, there's vaccinated. What's up, bro? Oh, he's in third. Nice. Done a good lap. Messing around with the Delara tonight, huh? Yeah, that thing handles so good. I haven't driven that in a while. Definitely need to do it again. That's a good one. Off to bed, David. All right, bro. I'll catch you tomorrow, maybe. Excuse me. Yeah, Delara's pretty cool, man. The handling is just off the chart. Like a Lotus, yeah. I think that's fair. Hopefully the VR headset does not lose tracking. Oh yeah, if it had any more power, it would be crazy good. I totally agree. To me, it reminds me a lot of the Maserati and the handling characteristics. Just, you know, off the top of my head, if I had to compare it to one of the other cars. Yeah, if it had like another 50 or another 100 horsepower, that would be... it'd be pretty sick. But yeah, true, adding more power to it would make it a little more sketch. It might actually not hook as well and introduce some problems you don't already have. But more power is always more fun to me. So I would take it if they had an option for sure. Even if it... It's kind of like the F40. I run it at full boost, even though it's more effective at lower boost. Because I like power. Alright. Then we have a good one here. Come on, headset. Not that. First right away. Shit. And side swap. Yep. Rough start. See what we can make of it though. That'd be more challenging starting out front anyway. In 11. The sunrise. Your nosage. We're up to 9th place. Yeah, 7th place. Couldn't hold it. The 6th place here. Got a moment to pass, I guess. And 6. Hello, welcome to the stream. Downshift. Alright, earlier got into the grass. Not when it's hitting the brake and turning, so. Alright, we're in 6. The BMW in front of me is in 9. But he's lapped. And the one in front of me is Raggy. He's in the chat. And I think he's in the Twitch chat. Uh-oh. Let's do something. Yeah. Well, tire temps are pretty good actually. They're only about 80, so Big, good. Two and a half laps left in the race. BMW's coming. Hey, fourth place is ahead, 4.3 seconds, and then Delara. We can catch Delara in the straights. They're going to be real good through these sections. We'll get them down. We'll cut them down to 3.1 seconds. That's him in front of us. 3.2 seconds. .8. Going down to 2.2. Second lead. A little late break here. Control braking here. And a little bit of bracket. Into four. Oh, get passed by the whole pack. Oh, really, dude? Really, dude? Oh, that dummy. He cut the corner. It's looking right fucking at me. From bad to worse. But the good news is it's just body damage. It's not the wheels. And we only lost one position or two. Yeah, we lost two. So we're in sixth. I'm gonna finish in sixth. Yeah. Says 4, but it was 6. Alright, good race. Good stuff, good stuff. Hey Chancellor, thanks for the follow. Somebody wrecked you. Oh, bummer. The 718, yeah, it's just... I do that every once in a while. Go from a slow car, and then I go progressively each day to a faster car. So, but I skipped a couple. I was doing the Supra and I was going to do the F40, and I'm like, nah, I want something a little more competitive. Yeah. I'm liking the Lambo's pretty good. It could beat some of the BMW guys. Sometimes all of them. Let's get the track. How are we looking? Dropped frames. We're down to 7% from 9, so I think we can go up in bandwidth a little more. Let's go up to 6 times and see if it will do that. I don't think it will actually. I'm looking at the numbers now. It's only doing 5200. Let's leave it at 5. Okay, let's see. That was a Mola. Let's do Laguna Seca. Seca coming up here. I think it's up and running on Laguna now. Looks like it. Maybe not. Let's see. This is a Mola. That's not right. Let's start it again. A lot of trouble with the admin panel. It'll say it's doing one thing and it's not, so it's hard to, you know, you end up restarting the server when you don't need to, and then it says it's restarted and it hasn't, so it's a lot of that. I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And basically, I think it boils to the admin panel has a bad delay on it. Like 15 seconds, 30-second delay, so you can't tell if you got it working yet or not sometimes. Now it says it's offline, but it's actually online. Because there's people in the server. But the panel says there's nobody on it and it's offline. Now it says it's online with nobody in it. And there's people in it, I know. Because it says one right there. Yeah, it's just delayed, I guess. Yep, it's up. We haven't done any cup races on my server. It's multi-class. With the exception of I got rid of the F1 cars because they were every bonehead would buy the game, get an F1 car and run over everyone. So I had to get rid of them, and then I got rid of the incredibly slow cars that can't get out of their own way because they end up getting run over too much. So it should be a pretty good blend of decently fast to fast production cars and race cars. Very similar to how things were in Forza, to be honest. I've been enjoying the VR so much, I haven't felt the need to go back to Forza yet, but I do miss my friends in Forza, and I miss my all the tracks and stuff. So I'll probably go back to it at some point. Put it on these guys. Simulator goes. Oh, I haven't done any of that. Huh. Yeah, I haven't done any of that stuff yet. Since I got my own server, this is all I cared for, was the server where I could kick the rammers out, kick the toxic people out, and let it backfill with people who are more serious about the game, like you and Fully that's in here. Okay. We probably got a couple dozen or so, maybe, that come back every day. So for a few minutes. Since it's qualifying. Cool off a little bit. We'll be all right. Next time, isn't it? Oh. I thought we were playing bowling. This is third. Mellon said, "Shim out, what's it?" Well, argue that with Mario did something. So Mario ran him off the track. Justice. Obviously, says he didn't touch it. Okay. Could have been a lag. You seen? Pick up in second. Good race, dudes. Yo, game crash, Reggie. Ah, that sucks, dude. Yeah, I've had a couple of those happen here and there too. Definitely not very stable yet. And tighten up the qualification and race a little bit. And run some out panoramas. You got your mandatory game credit, yeah. I got one of mine out of the way. And then the VR, sometimes it's low light in here, and so the VR lose tracking, and I gotta exit the game, exit the VR, come back into the VR, back into the game, reload it to and join the race. You know, usually I'm about 15th place. Because it always happens like that before the race starts. I'm like, God dang it. Right before the race. Like, really? Didn't you let me at least get some laps in? You know, enjoy myself for a minute? And do it right before the race. I can't tell you how many races I've started from the pits. For that reason, exactly. Alright, let's put qualification to 8 and then the race time to 8. A little bit. We can get some more tracks this way. Alright, restarting for Mount Panorama. Hope it works. I like this song. It's called Ocean Drive. This is the instrumental version, and I've got it slowed down a little bit. I like the slower version. Willing headphones to appreciate the noise. Server has been restarted. It says, I don't think so, but let's see. So it is. Okay. There she is. Nope, panorama. 8-minute call, 8-minute race. I've had some podiums today. This car's pretty good for that. Not the fastest car in the game, but pretty good. Interesting. Get me through. Still 150. Not like we're oversteering. Only a little bit sometimes, but that's more traction control spinning. We get a little more wing on it, so that'll help on the high speed. High turns. It's usually the switchbacks, the left right, that's what I'm getting. Sometimes if I don't have enough wing on it. Well, Mount Panorama. That's a good one. All right, gotta settle down. Oh, get off my soapbox. Pardon the alarm with the weight from yellow paint. Yeah. Oh shit. You pick up a mile per hour on the big end, it might do it. You know, sometimes that's all you need to get around somebody. Hell, my real life race car. I mean, I went through that car eventually. For many years, it was full weight, but eventually I did drop some weight to stay competitive because everybody else was too. But kept it classy, so you could look in the car and it looked like, you know, it was full interior and dash and everything. There's just stuff that you couldn't see that was reduced weight. But anyway, in doing that, there was a lot of parts on the car that were on the inside of the car, not on the outside, that were, if they didn't need 4 bolts, they got 2, you know, one of them kind of deals. And at the end of the day, you'd end up with a box, you know, about a foot by a foot, completely full of bolts that were never used again. They weren't like structural integrity bolts or anything like that. They were just, you know, speaker grill and just random shit you don't need in a race car. You're trying to shave weight. Warm up, qualifier lap, and that'll probably be it. Race time. seconds. Up here and watch the traffic. I like this new song I added. I went through a bunch of them the other night. I had a bunch of cool stuff. Alright, qualifying will be over in 5 seconds. He's waving the wiper. I don't have a key for that. It's the wiper key. The W. I don't think I bound that one. I haven't actually played in the rain. I don't really care for rain in racing games. I like traction. So we'll know when you're adjusting your traction control and the wipers come on. That's funny. What did we used to do on the street races back in the day? People used to have oh, the reverse light. They would make the reverse light come on whenever they hit the nitrous button. So our buddies would, you know, get out on you, and all of a sudden you see that white light on their on the reverse light kick on, and like, are we going in reverse? No, that's the nitrous kicking on. That's the second kit. Used to do a ton of street racing back in the day. Had the fastest car on the street in our top 25 street cars in Memphis back in, that was 2006 to probably 2010, 12, something like that. That was 6 or 7 years. Before that street racing TV show got there. That street racing TV show came on, they were like JJ and these guys. I'm just like, who the fuck are these guys? I've been street racing out here forever. Who is this? They were from West Memphis, Arkansas. That's not Memphis. They were calling it Memphis street racing. I'm like, no. You guys are in Arkansas. That's over the bridge. It was real puzzling to me. I'm like, how did these guys get on the TV show and they're supposed to be from Memphis? And they're the baddest street racers in Memphis? I'm like, I've never heard of them. No, that they're from 2000 to like 2012 or something. You know, that show was on there probably 2014 or something like that. At least with the Memphis area episodes. Yeah, they should be starting in just a second here. Here we go. Nope. Certainly not here. Send that to over there and so it's kind of treacherous. Pretty clean. Nice. Cool, neat. But well, I think on top of the road. Got some good drivers in this lobby, man. Usually there's somebody's hit the wall by now. Whole tires on the first lap especially. There it is. There it is. I knew they could do it. Fifth place, we're doing pretty good. Bunch of BMWs in front of me. Oh, fucking got rendered. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I fucked that up. Something like that to me to take it. That was my fuck up. I screwed up. Alright, Destiny, let's see what that good luck do for. Laying it out for all it's got. Yeah, the large. Really good there. These all of them messing on the radar. I think the one for the straightaway, the Laura would be the better car at the track. Don't have the straightaway horsepower. Who's it that I wrecked earlier? I don't know who it was. Well, I don't think I wrecked them, but I wrecked and then that caused them to wreck into me. Something like that. I don't know. Honestly. Good man, it's good bits. Pulling it. Maybe that was Lewis I ran into. I think that may have been Lewis. Also not sure. No, it was a BMW. Maybe Steve? I don't know, so whoever was with Fully, those two were together, and I got into them. Or I spun out in front of them, and then one of them hit me. And quite the shit show. Let's see what Soul is next. That's some Olton Park. These the international race. I like this song. This one's called Echo Sphere. The Ultra Wave. I've got several Ultra Wave songs in my playlist. Really good bass line in the tune. Olton Park. Well, I think I'm going to take a break here, actually. I've been in for nearly 3 hours. I don't want to burn myself out first day back after taking a little bit of a break. Leave the server there on Olson Park. And then we'll get some rest and we'll hit it again in the AM. About 11 p.m. Yeah, 11:05 p.m. in Tennessee. So I'm getting a little bit late here. Not that I have a schedule or anything, but same. Yeah, appreciate you guys chilling with me. And for those of you that haven't already, make sure you follow and subscribe. And we're on YouTube as well, and Kick and Twitch. So those of you that are on YouTube or have a YouTube account, don't mind pulling that up. You can hit the thumbs up for me. That would be good. It helps with the algorithm, get some more people seeing these vids. The long-term goal is really just to get people aware of our server and get them into our Discord, so we got people to hang out with. So when we go to play or we go to stream, we always got like a pool of people to play games with, because I think hanging out with friends or gaming with friends, I think that's what it's all about. So it's supposed to be a good escape. So I make a point to keep the Discord and the game servers free of like the toxic ones, you know. That, I mean, shit talking for fun, that's for fun, but the ones that are just being a-holes just to be a-holes, you know, we'll just get rid of them. The rammers and stuff, you know, that can't behave themselves, we'll just get rid of them. And then so eventually the servers backfill thanks to the YouTube videos and stuff and the server. I think eventually we backfill it with more people like fully vaccinated, and David ML, which is another streamer, and a bunch of others, Robert, and more than I can think of right now. But these guys keep coming back, so I think we're doing something right. We'll just keep on keeping on, and eventually we'll just have a server just full of people that there's so many of us that like the server and come back every day that there's just no room for the rammers and idiots, you know. They just can't even get in the server hardly. That'll greatly diminish the odds of encountering them, and it'll just make our server a little bit special compared to the others, I think. Because most of the other servers are probably headless. There's no admin. They just fire it up and walk away. They set a track every day or something, maybe at the most. So I think ours is going to be unique, in which we have several admins, some of which I've not announced who they are. They are not going to announce who they are. They're basically like a a private race marshal. They're just kind of watching. So they'll let me know if I get a message from them that something's going on, then I know there's no question. I don't have to review it. They've already reviewed it for me, and they already know what happens. That's pretty rare. We not actually had to do that yet, so we can do it if we need to. So yeah. Anyway, all that to say, have a great evening. Be back in the AM most likely.